the house. He's like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mr. Cutie Patootie. Mm-hmm. Frankie is getting the standard line cut. Right? Yeah. Let's start with a little face trimming. Mm-hmm. Wow. Oh, your ears. He's like, that should be fine. Mm-hmm. So mommy says she's been cutting out your mats with the scissors. She's like, yeah. Mm-mm-mm. That is not good. Did you do your mean? Yep. I don't know how I'm supposed to save that. Just do your best. Alright. Ready, steady? Put that on. Wow. Wow. Nope. Alright. There you go. You got nails? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Somebody's been taking care of them at home. Yeah. That be your mommy? Yipper. She said you had a slight problem with them. I don't see it. I don't see any problems. Yeah, I don't know what she's talking about half the time either. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with them. What is she on about? God only knows. Alright. And last boot. Okay. And then we'll go on to your Brazilian next. He's like, that sounds fancy. Yep. Alright, we're going to pick up the safety clipper. 1.4 setting. Alright. Wow. There we go. Mm-hmm. Alright, we're going to do a continuation of that sanitary clip by getting into the inner groin area. Should go up one side, down the other. There. You got some mats? She missed one. Alright. If this cat was being left in full coat, there's a couple of different ways you can get a mat out. He's getting a line cut, so it doesn't matter. Everything's getting shaved out. But let's just use this as an example. If for some reason you wanted to save your cat's coat, first thing I usually start with is some laid pooch detangling spray. And then I'm usually going to try to loosen that up a little bit with some kind of a brush, right? And see how it gives, right? And it's already starting to give to the point where all I'm going to need is a comb to kind of pop most of it out. Yeah, see? It's completely out. See how quick and easy that was? All right. Let's try another technique. Let's find another knot. She's gotten all of them. And she used the hand scissors to cut them out. Why, I'm not sure, because he's getting a line cut. They're all going to just get the shaved out anyway, so what's the point? Okay. Alright, here's another way to get rid of a mat. Take a little Pal's Demeter. It's one of the best on the market. I have invested $60 to get the Matador. This one. There's a few different ones on the market. This one is actually better than this one for the purposes of what I use it for, which is cat grooming. Alright, so we got a mat there. Here's a second way to do it. Just take this sharp part, get it under the mat, and just rake under the back end of it 2 or 3 times, right? And then it loosens everything up to the point where you can go back in with a comb and everything comes right out, right? So there's 2 techniques for you, right? Alrighty then. Now, he's getting a line cut, so we don't have to demat him, right? Just gonna shave him all the way down. Here we go. Alright, tail is done. Now I'm going to pick up my Fuzzy Fix Blue Wave. We're going to go in reverse using the 10 blade that it comes with, right? This, for anyone who's a groomer watching, don't know what a reverse line cut is. It's not the easiest to do if you don't have the right equipment. One of the reasons why I used to go with the grain, because I never could find anything that really I liked for the reverse line until I found this clipper. So you the holy grail for me when it comes to a reverse line cut. Reverse line cut just means you go in reverse instead of with the grain. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah. Can we take this off, buddy? Give me a better view of this, what's happening with this mane. Okay. I'm going to scoop all of his mane up and hold it in my hand. Alright, let's see what's left. Hello, hello, hello. Hola. ¿Cómo estás? Alright, let's see what this looks like. It's kind of lopsided. It's lopsided, but when you check where the line of the mane is, the line of the mane is perfect. So it's not that. So we'll go back in and fix that after the bath. Alright, ready, steady? He's like, for what? You can do your tricky bits. He's like, what does that mean? We're going to get you on the bed, and we're going to do the parts that most cats don't really like. He's like, does that mean it's going to hurt? Nope. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. but we are going to use a technique to get it done. Okay. I wasn't using a shear, so what do you mean? What are you talking about? What do you mean, Jelly Bean? This is a Fuzzy Fix Blue Wave. They're about $100 on Amazon. You don't have to get it with all of the comb attachments. You can get it for less on Amazon. They're selling the purple one for like about $100. Yepper. The Fuzzy Fix is great. This one, Fuzzy Fix is the company. The name of the clipper is called Blue Wave. Comes in blue, yellow, and purple, right? So anyway, the one thing I noticed about the Blue Wave clipper, which is different from all my other clippers, something you might be wanting to be mindful of. When it started happening to me, it was a mystery as far as why there was something happening with the clippers. No one could quite figure out what the problem was. It was the way I was cleaning them, right? Which I do for all my clippers. Same exact technique, right? But for some reason, the technique I was using to clean my clippers was killing my Blue Wave. Yeah. It was all a mystery. So, to be mindful with this clipper, normally at a cat grooming salon, it's really important to keep the blades clean, right? So you would dip them in Barbasol, right? Running it to clean it. Towel it off. Dry it with an air gun. Put some oil in it, and have it ready for the next grooming, right? Or when I need it next, right? I don't do that anymore. But anyway, what would happen was if any liquid, just probably a drop, one drop or two, if it goes down into the mechanism, it short circuits the whole clipper, right? So that's what I was doing. I was short circuiting all of my Blue Waves. I short circuited, I don't know, 3 or 4 before I finally figured out what was happening. Yeah. But the company did give me a couple free ones, so that was nice of them. And they did also give me a repairman who could fix, because they were brand new. I only had them for 2 or 3 weeks before I would short circuit them, right? So yeah, you just got to be mindful that you can't let any liquid go down into it. And I would be mindful of the spray when you're spraying. If you're going to be spraying them down, I would be mindful of that too. Just make sure no liquid goes down into the mechanism, right? Now what I do to compensate for that little issue is I have all of my 10 blades lined up, right? All of them are lined up, all clean, oiled, all of that, right? And as I use one blade, once I'm done with it, with that one cat, it goes in the jewelry box with the barber salt. And then I put on a fresh new blade. And that's what I'm currently doing right now, right? Which suits me just fine. Works for me. Wee. And I haven't short-circuited a Blue Wave ever since I discovered what I was doing wrong, right? I had to be the one to figure it out. Nobody else could. But it was all a mystery because none of the other clippers had that happen, right? So, waka waka. Here we go. Go back in and do these tricky bits using the safety clipper. The blue wave is fairly safe for the tricky bits as well, but just out of habit, I usually, just by habit, I will use the safety clipper for all the delicate areas. Waka waka. You did it. You did it. Anyone have any questions? Anything? You don't need to be afraid of questions. The only time you're going to see me pop off is if you come on here making statements as if you know what you're talking about. You know? Like saying things as a statement of truth or a fact when in fact you are completely wrong, right? So if you're questioning something, nothing's stopping you from asking, you know, what's happening or what's going on, and I'll be able to explain it to you. But you coming on here and making statements that are false, no. That's the only thing you need to be mindful of, right? Because all it does is spreads misinformation. And what we want to do with this channel is be as clear and transparent as possible, you know, on how to groom all cats to high spec at low stress levels, right? Because not even the pet grooming industry is teaching that currently, right? Believe it or not, right? So we're actually going on YouTube and we're showing from start to finish how every cat can be groomed to high spec at low stress levels, so that at least there's some kind of substance, some kind of supplemental teaching happening to accommodate the groomers who want to learn. There's a lot of groomers, believe it or not, who don't give a shit about cats. 99% of their priority is on their dog clients, right? To the point where they won't even invest a dime. They've spent thousands on their dog grooming education, but won't even invest a dime to learn how to groom cats. It's two separate trainings. Any dog groomer who hides behind their certs, yeah, and allows you, the cat owner, to assume that they know what they're doing, they're lying. It's a false misrepresentation. It is false advertising. Because knowing how to groom cats properly, it's kind of important for their health and well-being as well. I'm sure you've all seen the videos. They're everywhere. Of groomers who are blaming the cat. They're literally blaming the cat. They're not turning around and pointing the finger at themselves for not receiving training in cat grooming. Oh no, it's the cat's fault. It's funny how a cat, that same cat, would act completely different in the hands of a trained cat groomer. Right? Funny how that happens, right? Alright, you did it. Ready, steady, here we go. Are we there? Are we still there? Okay, good. Right this way, right this way, right this way, right this way. That's Frankie. Frankie's a cutie patootie. A cutie patootie. Alright. See how all of his boots are problematic? Not exactly bunny rabbit status fur, is it? So they're all going to get groomer scoop do what? To lift any yellowing, but also to, almost like chicken feet. Have you ever seen a chicken's feet washed? Oh, it's divine. You can do the same thing with cat boots if you know how to wash them correctly, right? Let's do that. He's like, it's not. Alright, so we're putting the groomer scoop on, nice and warm and heated. Very easy to heat up groomer scoop. You probably just throw it in the microwave. But I use a little refrigerator slash heater that you get for people for their offices or for their dormitories. They come in all different sizes, but it heats up that groomer scoop to the perfect temperature. It's not too hot, not too cold. And then you want to get a bunny rabbit brush. A bunny rabbit brush is about the same as a cat brush, right? It's got those little nibs on the end. And now you're going to start working out any imperfections in the boots, right? Using that bunny rabbit brush. That's a 5-minute treatment. At the very minimum, when you're using edge greaser. And you go back up, follow up with the bunny rabbit boot to get the bunny rabbit status, right? He's like, I guess so, lady. But I'm not a rabbit. But that's what I call it, bunny rabbit status fur, right? That just means no separation, no indentations in the coat, just absolutely clean, right? Alright. Now, I start with the head so that by the time I get everything else done, I'm ready to work on the face and head of the cat so that I'm continuously working the cat and we don't have to take breaks. Alright, we're going to start with all this eye gunk. We're going to use a white washcloth. You want to use a white washcloth because you're going to see everything so much better that's coming off your cat, right? And then I use a foaming tearless shampoo. My duck has foaming tearless shampoo with the pink paw paw that's in there. But you can also just get a hand pump baby shampoo. This one is called Baby Ganex. It's fragrance free, plant derived. It should be tearless. It's not claiming that it is, but it should be. Or baby bum. I like baby bum. Here we go. Here we go. Bad eyes usually means bad ears. But in his case, nah. He's good. You are so cute. Ready, steady, here we go. Now, that's done. Go in and rinse out the degreaser that's in and around. I kept the cat dry the entire time. So we got people coming on here making statements that are false. If you come on here making statements that are false, you will be eliminated. Right? He's dry. Everything about him is dry. All of his toe beans are sitting in a warm pool of water. It might be a ½ inch, but it's a warm pool of water. Okay? Yet the statement that was made was the cat was freezing. Right? As a statement. As though they knew what was going on, like it was fact. Alright, ready, steady? We use a Little Pal's curry brush to begin the washing of the face. Now what I'm putting on here is just straight hypo unscented. I usually don't use anything scented around the nose of a cat. Why? Because their smell is about 1,000 times more sensitive than a human's. Okay? Does that feel good? He's like, it's okay. Do you realize how cute you are? He's like, well, I've heard that word before. Do you know what it means? He's like, no, not really. It means you're adorable. Yeah, I don't even know that word. Cute, adorable, what else? Fabulous. He's like, I know that word. Yeah, it means you're fabulous. Waka, 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 waka. Alright, that's done. Usually you only have to wash the face once if you're using the Pink Pal Pal degreaser. So let's get all that rinsed out. Then put a happy hoodie on his head and get started on the rest of them. He's like, are we there yet? Almost. Almost. You're not in a drive-through car wash here, buddy. You're at a detailing shop. He's like, I guess, what does that mean? That means you're going to get a much higher quality grooming. He's like, okay, it's fine with me. Does that mean I'm a high quality cat? Yepper. It's one way of looking at it. Ready, steady. Trying to feel if there's any more shampoo in and around his head. There, got it. Cool, Jake. Alright, we're done with that. Yeah. Wait. That warm water that all of his toe beings are sitting in are helping to keep him warm, right? Alright, let's start on the booties. The booties. The booties. Are you losing your balance? Alright. Alright, ready, steady? Here we go. Get all of these boots taken care of with a little optical brightening shampoo. Get that started. Get that party started. So we're doing a dynamic duo. We're doing 2 steps at the same time, right? Degreasing as well as optical brightening. They're both made by Le Pooch. That purple shampoo, the purple is ginseng violet, which is a plant used to help lift the white. It'll also lift the black. It'll lift any color cat, right? Its dilution rate is 1 part shampoo, 20 parts water. I make mine a little bit stronger. I'll usually do 1 part shampoo, the purple, with 10 parts water. I'll make it a little bit more concentrated, right? And I see the results with just 1 wash, right? Yeah. Last booty. Last booty. Last booty. Last booty. School's getting out. School's going to be out soon. 2 schools. Thank you. Yeah, does anyone know what that means? That means that the, yeah. That means the kids are coming. That's what that means. The kids are coming. Yeah. Why would I think some of the kids are already out of school. Let the comment section reflect that. Okay. There. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. You did it. Mm-hmm. Alright, and rinse. Hey, buddy. When working with the purple shampoo, if you don't rinse correctly, a lot of that purple will pull to the bottom of the paws. So always lift and look underneath. Otherwise, you're going to end up with purple paws underneath. You're not going to notice it unless you're watching the cat walking away from you. But all of the underneath of the cat will be purple if you don't pick that paw up and rinse underneath. That's just one of the things I've noticed about working with the purple shampoo, right? There you go. Wash, rinse, repeat. So we did the dynamic duo shampoo. We put that together as one step. And now we're going to do the next dynamic duo, which is La Pooch Puppy with an unscented Chubb's bar to get those chicken feather feet. I used to use Chubb's bars on dogs when I used to be a dog groomer to get that perfect pedicure, right? Last 2 booties. Last 2 booties. Yeah, I think school is out, so we're gonna turn that comment section off for now. You know, there's a marked distinct difference in my feral community when school is out, which indicates how many children are on this app, right? Yeah. Just fine. They're still learning how to read and write, but apparently they're experts in cat grooming. Okay, gotcha. Got it. And rinse. All done. You did it. You are beautiful, Frankie. He's like, I know. I know. There. Wow. There we go. You look and smell marvelous. You look and smell marvelous. There we go. All done. You did it. You did it. Alright, let's wrap you up. We gotta double check, make sure there's no soap ring around his neck. Okay. Good boy. Good boy. Ready? He's like, for what? Your towel wrap. We're gonna leave like a gentleman. 3, 2, 1. I did it, Ma. I did it, Ma. Alright, right this way. Let's do this. Let's do this. How do you like my new policy, 2 skulls? When school is out, the comment section will be restricted. Not all the way. We're just going to have limited access to it. Yeah. Yes, once winter breaks and there's actually things to do outside, that might change. Ready, steady, here we go. He's like, where are we going? It's a figure of speech, silly. We're just getting you done. Alright, we'll start with your eyes. Little flush. Little flush. A baby wipe will show whether I clean those eyes effectively or not in the bath. There's nothing, right? So now we're on to the ears. Are you leaving? He said, well, I was thinking about it. Well, where are you gonna go? I don't know. It's gotta be way out of this taco joint. No. Escape is futile. He's like, great. But I'm a cat. Yeah, well, I suppose it is possible. It's never happened before in 15 years, but I suppose anything's possible, right? There. Wham, 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 wham. Alright, that's done. Alright, let's blow out his head and mane. Right this way. We're going to use the do-it-yourself stand dryer. Very handy when working with cats. It's just a Conair hair dryer on an electric clamp light. Yipper! Comes in handy. And it's El Cheapo. It's on the cheap. Notice the irony of what I do at this salon? I spend $200 on 1 gallon of shampoo because it's the best. Everything around here is king of the mountain. Currently this is king of the mountain. For not scaring the cat, even though it's cheapo, it's king of the mountain. There's probably something else that's going to be better than this, and it's the wall unit arm dryer. But those start at about $1,000 and go up to $2,000, and then you need someone to install it into the wall. So potentially that's a lot of money, right? To replace something that only cost me 25 bucks. Is it worth it? I don't know. The only difference would be this would no longer be in the way of my lives, right? Would that qualify the $2,000 arm blower wall unit to be king of the mountain just because you get a better view of the cat's grooming? I don't know. Would that qualify? No, in my opinion, no. Nope, 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 nope. We usually put the comment section on during the drying process, so I'm going to put it back on for now, right? And we'll get rid of that. Okay. And we're going to get him in there for a little bit. He's like, do I get the box? Yeah, you get the box. Feel free to ask any questions. If you're unsure about something, just ask. But one thing you probably don't want to do is come on here and make statements that are not true. In your mind, it might be. And then I'll be the one to discern whether you got to go or not, right? It's better to just ask. And the reason why we're going to do it that way is because we don't want to use this platform to spread misinformation. There's already too much misinformation going on when it comes to cat grooming, right? Hell, the pet industry doesn't even know or believe or care or teach all cats can be groomed at low stress levels. They're not even there yet, people. Yet it's currently happening at our salon and has been since 2017. That's 8 years now, people. For 8 years, we've managed to figure out how to groom all cats to high spec at low stress levels. Yet it's not even being taught. It's not even being believed by the pet industry. Right? So you could say this page is just a supplemental educational platform where you can actually learn how to do it, because we're showing you from start to finish. We're showing you every technique. We're letting you know whether the cat is at natural temperament or not, or whether the cat requires a pre-treatment, and if so, what that pre-treatment is, right? So for him, you'll see the NT in the title of his video, which means natural temperament, right? So this is Frankie at natural temperament. Yeah. Is he a Stepford cat? No. No. Meaning born and bred for too perfect of a personality? No, he actually has quite a cute, nice personality. He's actually adorable. Yeah. Hi, it's Portaka. I don't know how to say your names, people. Hey, Two Skulls. Kids have nothing to do right now because there's just too much snow out. They're stuck in the homes. Get off their bus, go home. Nothing to do. Sad. Why don't you go to the mall? Huh? I'll keep you busy for a little bit. Yeah. Join the YMCA. Do something. Oh, let me guess. It's just more fun to shove Cheetos down your throat and troll content creators, right? Looks like it's a blood sport. last generation has behaviorally modified children to not do anything except sit in front of their phone or iPad or television. It's kind of sad when you think about it. Because I'm Generation X. And when I was a kid, at the time, growing up in Hawaii actually, it wasn't possible to get bored with the amount of things that you could do outside, right? Yeah. It wasn't possible. Right? Waka waka. Kids are out, so we're going to, yeah. We have new restrictions on our open chat when we're going live, right? New restrictions. Catering around when kids are in school and when they're not, basically, is how we're doing that. All right. There you go, Frankie. You are adorable. He's a cutie patootie, that guy. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to keep him in there for a few minutes. And then we'll probably blow his boots out with either the do-it-yourself stand dryer that you just saw or the UA. This is about 1/10 the power of that Shalandi dryer. Right? But it does come in handy for doing finishing work on cats. Right? Very handy. Because it's not as powerful. When you take a velocity dryer to a cat, I try to limit the amount of time a velocity dryer is on a cat. And I'm using a Shalandi, and I'm keeping it at its lowest setting. I don't even turn it up. It's at its lowest setting, right? And even then, it's sometimes a little bit too much for cats. Even with the double, triple happy hoodies, right? So, you learn how to navigate what dryer is best for what cat, depending on their temperament, right? So that's why we have about 13 different drying options to accommodate each and every cat and each and every temperament. That is part of being a professional cat groomer. You need to learn all of the different techniques to accommodate all of the different temperaments of cats. For a pet owner, you only need to know how to find what techniques work best for your cat that you have at home, right? You only need to learn that. A professional cat groomer needs to learn and collect as many techniques as possible to accommodate as many personalities and temperaments as possible, right? The more techniques you know, the more you're going to be able to offer your cat clients, right? Yeah. And then it's a matter of like a jigsaw puzzle, looking for what technique works for what cat, right? And then you write it down in their e-file, right? So you don't forget. And that way you've got a navigation chart for each and every cat client. But when you see a new cat client coming in, if they're a straightforward cat, then yeah, we'll be able to groom them at low stress levels. But a lot of times, if you ever see a high stress cat being groomed here at the salon, what that usually means is their first time being groomed. And we don't know what techniques are going to work for that cat. And we also don't know whether, it doesn't matter what techniques we know, that cat needs a pre-treatment by the owner prior to coming in, right? So that's usually what's happening with the first grooming visit. Yet 90% of the public wants everything handed to them on a silver platter all the time. Want it perfect. It's just not possible, people, when you're dealing with a cat who's being groomed for the first time, right? If you're lucky, the cat will be like a water rat. He'll love his bath. He has no issues. He has a beautiful, even temperament naturally. And, you know, you're able to get that high-spec grooming at low stress levels. But in a lot of cases, when you're grooming cats for the first time, their stress levels may go through the roof before you find what is going to work for that cat, right? And in some cases, 1 out of 4 times, 25% of the time, you're going to find that it doesn't matter what you know, it doesn't matter how many techniques you have, that cat requires a pre-treatment by the owner prior to coming in. Not so that the cat can be groomed, but so that the cat can be groomed at low stress levels. Do you understand the difference? Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people can't even connect those two dots, right? So, all right, we're gonna get him out of there in just 2 minutes. Have at it. This is usually when the dryer section, during the drying section of the video, that's usually when the comment section is on. And when I say have at it, that means you can all talk amongst yourselves, because I will not be a party to the conversation. This is when I'm usually getting the cat carrier ready. When the cat's in the dryer box, right? I use these little pee pad liners. Wouldn't it be nice if they were already pre-treated, pre-scented with the Feline? Wouldn't that be nice? Maybe they can't do it that way because it'll just evaporate. I don't know. There's the Feline. All right, so that's ready. Hello. All right, we're back. Here we go. What's happening there? Okay, got it. Frankie's in the house. We just did the wash. We did the pre-cut, wash, dry, and now we're going to do the final finish. All of the steps that are done when grooming pets, right? If you are a groomer that has training, those are the steps that you're going to take. Dog groomers will do one step, do the pre-cut, right? They won't do any of the other steps because they have no training, right? They'll do all the steps for their dog clients because they have the training for that, right? They will not do all of the steps for their cat clients because they do not have the training for that. But the caveat is they will still charge you full price. They will charge you through the nose for subpar services, where they have skipped 3 out of the 4 steps. That's called a racket, people. Just saying. It's not honest. It's not ethical. Yet here we are. The one industry that you would think needs the most trust when it comes to working with pet owners and their small family members, their pets. You would think trust would be one of the most important things in that industry. No. Dog groomers will take advantage of cat owners, will allow you to assume just because they have all kinds of training and certificates, it's all about the dog grooming. All of that has nothing to do with their cat grooming skills, right? They are 2 separate trainings. A dog groomer does not receive training for cat grooming. They may receive an intro into how to groom a cat. An intro is not training people. Just saying, right? You walk into a dog grooming salon, you get mesmerized by all of the ribbons, all of the certificates, everything that they give and offer. It's for their dog clients, people. It has nothing to do with cat grooming, right? The fact that you're walking into a dog grooming salon filled with dogs is your first clue that you're going to a place that has no groomer that has any training in cat grooming. Because if they did, they would not have your cat anywhere near the dogs, right? Just saying. There are so many litmus tests to determine how to look for where the groomers are. Here's your best litmus test. When a dog groomer receives training for cat grooming, when they've actually dropped a dime and invested into the training of their cat grooming, they will brag about it. They will put it on their website. They will let you know, because it is an anomaly. It is not something they're going to want to have hidden. They want to shout it from the rooftops that they have received that type of training for cat grooming. When you don't see that, that is your... Oh, it says it's a certificate coming from a dog grooming school? Oh, okay. Well, you want to take it one step further? You want to do the research on your end? Call that dog grooming school. Ask them, what's your syllabus on cat grooming training? Here in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia School of Dog Grooming, it's 0. I spoke to the owner of that school personally. It's 0. They do not teach any of their graduates anything regarding cat grooming. Yet how many of those students graduated and are now advertising the service? Why is that a problem? It's a problem because these groomers cannot recognize the emotional well-being of a lot of cats. They cannot understand that techniques are essential when grooming that cat, right? In the right hands, the cat will be compliant. In the wrong hands, that cat could lose their shit. Why? Because they are a cat. They sense things. When dealing with an intelligent being, be intelligent, right? Cats are a lot smarter than dogs. When it comes to grooming, I always say grooming dogs is a lot like playing a game of checkers. When it comes to cat grooming, it's a lot like playing a game of chess, right? Yeah. So just, keep that in mind. And look for the obvious signs. Do not get duped. Do not get taken advantage of the false advertising that is out there. So many people are being taken advantage of. In my opinion, it's actually a RICO. It's actually a RICO violation. Yeah, you've got an entire pet industry duping millions of cat owners. If that's not RICO, I don't know what is. Alright, I heard a little bird chiming. Who's the little birdie? You. No. It's Beans! Hey Beans, how are you? How are you? What's going on? How you doing, Beans? You mean the Beans that I know from TikTok? Is this your YouTube account? Is that you? I'm trying to pull you up and I can't. Hmm? Oh, I'm alright. No, Sadie. No. It's Jill! Oh my god. Oh my god. How the hell are you? Jill Snowden is in the house. Hey, Jill. How are you? It's a totally different platform here over in YouTube, but the water's great. It's a lot nicer for me as a content creator to be over here on YouTube, right? And one of the most beautiful things about being here on YouTube is that all of my teachings don't go down the drain once I'm done with the live, right? I popped in once while people were being jerks and asking the same thing over and over again. Yes, exactly. I want to get one of those flashing message boards to answer, some of the questions that, people ask 100 times during each live. So, anyway, we got Beans and we got Jill. Yes, it happens right after school is let out. Oh, and meet Two Skulls. She's my moderator. She's the host with the most. She's really good at what she does. And God, Two Skulls has been with me almost from the beginning, right? But anyway, I usually have to yes, exactly. Exactly. Alright, so let's pull out. This is Frankie. This is Frankie, and Frankie, oh, school is out, right? So I have to be very mindful of keeping the chat open and when to shut it down. Like, I'll open it up and shut it down occasionally. At this point, I'm going to have to tweak it again, right? And then we'll turn it on back on again at the very end. So we're gonna just minutes. We're just gonna, finish him up, polish him up. What I call feline frosting. We're gonna do the feline frosting. Frankie is in the house. And he's adorable. He's super, super cute. And we're probably just going to use the little do-it-yourself stand dryer. Keep that on low as we're doing our finishings. And that'll help to dry off all the little bits that are still a little damp. Like his boots, maybe a little bit of his mane, right? Let's get that going. He's a dorks. Alright, we're going to finish up with the clipper we used to put him in the line cut, which is the Fuzzy Fix Blue Wave. Okay. Let's go back over everything. You'll see all of the different imperfections after the bath and after the drying that you may not have noticed before. Which is why this is the step that happens after the drying, the final finishings, right? This step you will get when you take your cat to a trained cat groomer. You will not get this step done most of the time if you bring your cat to an untrained dog groomer. Oh, they're trained in dogs, through the roof trained, but they have zip when it comes to cat grooming. So they skip a lot of steps, right? And then, but it doesn't seem to stop them from charging you through the roof, right? So they're going to charge you the same price, if not more, than what the trained cat groomers are charging, right? Yeah. They're going to charge you just as much, if not more, for 1/4 of the service. Just to give you an idea, putting a cat in a line cut literally takes 15 minutes, right? Yeah, you've got a bunch of these dog groomers turning around and charging you $200 for 15 minutes worth of service, right? So that comes to what? An equivalent of $800 an hour. How many people do you know are getting paid $800 an hour? Hmm? How many years did they have to go to school? How much education did they have to get that $800 an hour, right? Let's say it'll take them 30 minutes, if not 15 minutes, right? That's still $400 an hour if they're charging $200 for each dry cut cat, right? So, yeah, they're gonna charge you the same price, if not more, than what a trained cat groomer will charge you. But if you bring your cat to a trained cat groomer, you're gonna get all of the services, not just 1/4 of them, right? In most cases, right? Just a little food for thought when navigating around the pet grooming industry, people. For those of you who may not know, or you learn the hard way, right? Everyone around here learns the hard way. Yeah, you would think in a very prominent neighborhood like where I live that there would be very high quality grooming for cats. No. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. We're getting the chicken feather feet, right? We use the beautiful baiting techniques to get that beautiful boot, right? You did it. You did it, buddy. He's like, I'm leaving. I got 2 more boots to do. I got 2 more boots to do. And then you can leave. Alright? He's like, deal. Deal. There we go. Get him to assume the position. That's Cody. And that's Cody. Just a little rabbit brush. Much like a cat brush. Alright, there you have it. There you have it. All done. Ready, steady, up we go. Alright, comment section is on for anyone who wants to say goodbye to Frankie. I think I did that right. There you have it. call the owner. I do need to mess with his mane just a little bit. Just tweak it just a little bit. We're going to use that little Pink Paw Pal cornstarch eye powder. Waka 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 waka. Boop. He's like, I'm not a girl. It's not a girl thing, it's a girl and guy thing. Yeah. He's like, are you sure? Yep. It's for guys and girls. And last but not least, just a little bit of shaping. Something that you do with most versions. Some owners like to keep the horns of their cat natural. They actually like that wild look. Others, not so much, right? Okay, ready, steady. The owner's been taking scissors to her cat's coat, which is fine because he's getting a line cut. But it's not fine if you're going to start taking the scissors into the mane, because of it just kind of destroys it, right? So here's a trick that you can use to keep the mane natural looking. Just get a hold of this little Pals mat breaker, and if you do find a little knot in your mane of your cat, just get that rake underneath of it, and then let that sharp rake run across the back of that mat 2 or 3 times, and then it'll pop right out, right? That's all you need. And it keeps the mane looking very natural, right? The problem with his mane right now is there was a pair of scissors hacking away into that, which destroyed it from looking natural, right? The natural fall of a lion's mane is actually quite beautiful, but you know, every groomer is different. Some are going to take a straight and just cut blunt edges into that mane, which is fine. It's not my cup of tea, but I would prefer for it to look a little bit more natural looking, not the straight blunt cut. But when you're trying to fix someone who's taken a scissors to the mane, it's very difficult. It's very hard to blend that, right? You're not going to get something, just not exactly what you would like. Alright, we're there. Say goodbye to Frankie. Have it. And if there's a big shelf on the back of the head of the cat, you can go in with one of these Missums. M-I-S-S-U-M. It's about 40 bucks on Amazon, but it has the quality of a $200 pair of shears. It's very high quality. Normally, a groomer is not going to be buying scissors off of Amazon, right? But in this case, yeah. And what I'll do with the Missum is break up any hard shelves, right? Give it a more natural. There we go. Alright, there you have it. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Say bye, Frankie. He's like, yeah. You're too cute. What's on your nose? He's like, it's not my fault. Okay, let's see. What's happening on your nose? There. You got like a little crusty something or other. I got some cow fat, some cow tallow. Should I use it? He's like, nah, I might be allergic. I doubt it. Can't hear anything. Did I do that wrong? Did I put the settings on wrong? It says on. Alright. Well, see you next time. That's Frankie. He just got his line cut, the standard line cut. We used the Fuzzy Fix Blue Wave. We did the reverse line with the 10 blade that the Fuzzy Fix comes with. We did a wash, rinse, and repeat. First wash, degreasing. Second wash, finishing, right? Wash, rinse, repeat. Then we powdered his nose. And then we're going to send him on his merry way. It's cats like this that make the pet industry think that all of my clients are being drugged either by myself or someone in my facility or whatever. It's because of cats like Frankie, right? He's like, what? What did I do? Yeah. Like I said before, the pet industry can't even comprehend that all cats can be groomed to high spec at low stress levels. They don't comprehend it, they don't believe it, they don't understand it, therefore they're not even teaching it. Yet that is what we've been doing in our salon since 2017, ever since we went to a fear-free seminar. Fear-free. The missing link on how to become a cat groomer. Yeah, fear-free training. Yeah, it'll help you to understand how to groom cats at low stress levels. It's not going to teach you how to groom cats, but it's going to help you to understand how to groom some of these cats at low stress levels, right? Through fear-free teachings, right? Yeah. So back in 2017, I went to a fear-free seminar, and then what I had to do is I had to incorporate their teachings and their theories and apply it to cat grooming. It wasn't done yet. So here we have a cat grooming salon back in 2017 who navigated through the woods, climbed the mountain, came over the mountain to the other side, went through another woods, and I can see what everyone else can't, because they're still on the other side of the mountain. They can't see what I see. Why am I so far ahead? Because that's all I do. I groom cats. 15,000 working on 20,000 over the course of 15 years in an open state of student learning. I never close my books. There's constantly new clients coming in. There's constantly new information being learned. There's constantly new studies happening, right? I'm in a constant state of learning. That's the difference. Most groomers put together a shop. In a year or two, they close their books. They're no longer accepting new clients. What does that mean? Same clients over and over again. They're not learning anything. They've become stagnant, right? So that would be one of the reasons why I've gone so far ahead and can see from a different perspective what's possible. Just saying. Anyway, all the best. Thanks. Have a great rest of your day. I may be back later on today for one more grooming. I have to break. I have an appointment I have to go to, and I'll be back in a little bit, somewhere around 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Two Skulls, and thank you everyone for joining, and we'll see you next time. Bye, Jill, if you're still here, and Beans.